Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we will be talking about the first accurate national numbers coming out of the presidential race when it comes to polling post-debate, after the presidential debate, which now occurred 2 days ago on September 10th. So as we see, this is a poll from Ipsos. This is a very well-known pollster. I believe CNN uses them for polling, but this poll was in sponsorship with Reuters News. And what this poll shows is that Kamala Harris has a stunning lead of 5% nationwide over Donald Trump. Now, 5% is extremely significant. Of course, the Electoral College could still be close because that is what the election is decided by, the winners decided by. But a 5-point victory in the popular vote almost certainly would guarantee quite a large victory in that Electoral College. It would outpace the margin even in the Electoral College, but the popular vote as well, the margin that Biden won the popular vote, or the election, I should say, by in the last election in 2020. So again, in this poll, Kamala Harris is ahead by 5. She has 47% of the vote. Trump only has 42%. 42% is not, even close to a majority. It just goes to show how, Donald Trump, he has a ceiling of support, and it is not anywhere near 50%. He can't get 50% of voters to vote for him, and that has been proven time and time again. So, as we see, Kamala Harris, this is entirely post-debate, too, so that's important. It's entirely post-debate. But more voters are making up your minds. You can see that there. Of course, this is including undecided voters, because together this equals 89%, so that leaves 11% of voters in this poll who are still undecided. But it shows you that voters are making up their minds because Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, both of them, did see gains post-debate. And it also shows how this poll, or how the presidential debate, these new voters who are now making up their minds, they broke heavily towards Kamala Harris after watching that debate. They broke 2-1 in favor of Kamala Harris. She gained 2%. Donald Trump only gained 1%. So that debate was seemingly influential, but of course, it's obvious by all metrics that it was not a tie like other channels say, but it was a excellent debate for Kamala Harris, an awful debate for Donald Trump. We can just see the numbers here. Who was more dignified during the debate, 56-24 in favor of Harris. After the debate, this is in the same Ipsos poll, who seems more likely to listen to me and understand my concerns. Harris, 49-18, who didn't look sharp or stumbled. Trump, 52-29. Now, that's a bad thing, of course, so that's why Trump is leading. So, this debate was not good for Donald Trump at all. We'll see if he does another one, but that just, helps underscore how voters who watched the debate were undecided going into the debate and then made up their mind after the debate. They broke heavily towards Kamala Harris. She made gains. I don't even know how accurate this poll is. Ipsos is a B+ rated pollster, by the way. It doesn't say it here, but they're B+, so not the best of the best, but in that, top rated, section of polls. Definitely not a poor pollster. But again, they say Kamala Harris gained 2 after the debate. Donald Trump gained 1, so Kamala Harris is winning undecided debate watchers by a 2-1 margin. So again, this 5% is important because 5% is a point where we haven't seen Kamala Harris in quite a while. On average in the national polls, she is standing at 2.8%. That should be concerning because you probably aren't going to win the Electoral College if you are only ahead by 2.8%. Now, she has made significant, enormous gains since she entered the race. At one point, she was only ahead by 0.2%, and since then, of course, she has been able to expand that by some 2.4%. But, just not too long ago, some more like 20 days ago, she was at her high. She was at her high of 3.7%. So, that 1.1% that she has fallen since 20 days ago, that is significant as well. So she has seen some minor setbacks, but 1.1% in a presidential race when you have states that Trump is ahead in by 0.5 and Harris is ahead in Nevada by 0.1, when you have such a razor thin race across these battleground states, which is where the election will be decided, then 1.1% does matter so much. But it also matters that Kamala Harris is now gaining a point on Donald Trump at least. I mean, I don't even think it would be this little. I think that she ends up gaining a lot more when we have more polls, and when we average out those polls. I think it will be, even more than gaining 2%, or gaining a net of 1%, like in this poll, over Donald Trump. So, 2.8%, even if she is able to gain, 2%, which I think she will be, just like this Ipsos poll, then that puts her, at a, considering how much Trump gains as well, she's looking at about a, like a 4-point lead, basically, in the national polls. And then, you're approaching on average where Biden was, but, if she can continue these leads of 5%, then that will be extremely significant. I mean, Joe Biden won the 2020 election by a popular vote margin of 4.5%. That's key. That was his popular vote margin, 4.5%. And when you look at some of these states like Wisconsin, you've got, I wish I pulled up that other map I usually have. Wisconsin was a 0.6% margin. Georgia was a 0.2% margin. You had Arizona, that was a 0.3% margin. These were incredibly close states, and just a small shift in the popular vote for either direction would matter so much. So to see Kamala Harris not only hold every state that Biden did in 2020, she's expanding if she does, in fact, end up with a 5-point win in the popular vote. So she is getting, she's getting that, all those states that Biden did in 2020. She would get Michigan, she'd get Wisconsin, or I said Michigan, but she'd get Wisconsin, she'd get Michigan, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Nevada, Georgia, and she's already at 303 electoral votes. She is already there. And then you've got states where Biden didn't win that are incredibly in play. Harris, again, 5% versus 4.5%. She'd be doing 0.5% better in 2024 than Biden did in the last election. North Carolina went to Trump by 1.3 in 2020. That would be reduced to a tilt margin victory for Donald Trump, a razor-thin victory of 0.8%. I mean, Florida would be reduced to what? A 2.5% margin. That's extremely in play. Texas, very similar margin there. That would be reduced to just a lean margin, so Texas does narrow up. So, if you've got a 5-point victory, these are the numbers that she needs to aim for. As long as she is near where Joe Biden was in 2020, that is where she wants to be. And even that's risky, because the polls did overestimate Joe Biden in 2020. They underestimated Donald Trump. Now, I personally, for many reasons, I've made many videos on this, but I personally do not believe that the polls will overestimate Trump like they did in 2020 and 2016 based off of recent election results since 2020. However, that being said, for assurance in a presidential race, you still want to be, above where Joe Biden was, what he actually won the popular vote by, which was 4.5%. If you're Kamala Harris, you want to be above 4.5%. So, even with a slight polling error in favor of you, you have some slack. You have some slack for overestimation in the polls, and you're still almost at or overperforming even what Joe Biden did win the election by, that 4.5%. But again, she's at 2.8 now, but we'll see if she does get a significant bump from this debate. I absolutely think she would. I mean, in a debate like this where you've got the question, I don't think I have it up, but just that question of who won the debate, here it is. Kamala Harris beats Trump by 30 points in that question. Sink that into your mind. She beats him by 30 points. 53 said Harris won. 24% said Trump won. I mean, think about that. Trump is at, well, I mean, it doesn't even matter, but he's at about, 48%, right, nationwide, around. I'm just using that example because we have 24% saying that Trump won the debate. That means that about half of his own supporters who are supporting him in the race for president can't even say that he won the debate. Now, I'm sure the 24% are lying to themselves also, But the fact that not even more people lied to themselves and said Trump won, even that goes to show how how poorly Trump did in that debate, where even they cannot admit it. So again, bringing this conversation back to the popular vote, because it all matters. If we have popular vote numbers, that helps us understand where the Electoral College goes. She's at 2.8 now. I think that this will increase. She wants to see polls like this, 5% margin. That's extremely healthy. She gained a net of point, but I mean, I think it would be even more in most polls. And I saw a really interesting piece on CNN about how, when there was a clear, universally agreed winner after a presidential debate in recent history, that's Mitt Romney in the first debate in 2012, that's Hillary Clinton in the first debate in 2016, that is Donald Trump in the first debate in June of this year, of 2024, and Biden in the 2020 first debate as well. All those people were, of course, universally agreed to have won those debates I just outlined. After every single one of those debates, the candidate who won the debate received a polling bump of at least 2%. It was 2% or more for all those candidates. Considering that it just happened in June, I doubt that tradition, that situation would suddenly vanish, even though there was a clear winner. Harris is beating Trump by 53 to 24, and get this, these numbers are more lopsided for Harris, more lopsided than the flash polls like this who won the debate in the polls in June. In the same question for the June debate, Biden versus Trump, absolute disaster for Joe Biden. It pushed him out of the race. It pushed Joe Biden out of the race. The polls were closer than 30 points. So, of course, Kamala Harris would continue on that trend. I believe at least get a polling bump of 2% or more. So, obviously, a polling bump of 2% or more, considering, the state-by-state battleground numbers right now in polling that we have, that matters so much. So, thank you all very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe down below. Please help us get to 10,000 subscribers. We are so close. So please subscribe, help us get there, and thank you all for watching.